Welcome back. I hope you had fun with your market research from the previous lesson. Now let's talk about a little bit more about your game plan. 7 or 8 years ago, we invested $45,000 in a residential development in Mexico. Risky? Yes. But it had a high possibility for success. The $45,000 we invested came from profitable real estate deals we had already done. Our plan was to reinvest in real estate with those profits. Nothing else. No crazy vacations or new cars. This is a good example of diversification. Like, no kidding, right? A Mexico land deal. Ultimately, and after many years of hard work, this particular investment turned into a story of intrigue and one of highway robbery. But I'll save that for another day. Think about how long you want to hold on to a property before you exit. And also consider that it may take longer than you originally anticipated or forecast. Our Mexican investment is still in limbo. So let's say you decide to flip 3 properties in 6 months. That's a very specific goal. It helps you time the market and avoid finding yourself in a down market 1 or 2 years later. Your goal is simple. Get all 3 properties renovated and sold in 6 months for a profit. Or you could decide to buy 3 single-family homes to hold for 10 years. And then depending on the market, you'll sell, refinance, or trade into bigger deals. Or just continue to hold on to your property as the debt is paid down each year. There's nothing like a fully paid off asset at the right time, like retirement. Let's say you buy a run-down property, fix it up, and sell it fast, hopefully. Flipping is a high-risk versus return endeavor, where buying right is your number 1 priority. It's often very, very difficult to finish a project on time and to come in at or under budget. Also, with a flip, you have to really know your submarket sales cycles and inventory. In other words, the supply and demand of that market. And you must choose between the 3 types of rehab you can do. Let's go over those. First type of rehab is cosmetic. That's kind of your Home Depot rehab. The second is a structural rehab, which includes roof, plumbing, foundations, water, etc. Or you can do a gut rehab. In order to do that, you must have an ideal location because you're going to be fully gutting a property and bringing it back to its former glory. So you're really banking on market. And lastly, you've had to be current on all local codes, zoning variances, and regulations, no matter what strategy. With a buy and hold, you or someone must manage the property. And note that some of the financing options can include a live-rent scenario for attractive rates and low or no down payment requirements. We talked about this earlier. You live in one unit and rent the others out. With a trade, you're taking advantage of other opportunities and hopefully strategically building a portfolio with diverse property types. So for example, you can have 5 small multifamily properties, sell those as a portfolio and trade up to a larger apartment building. And then another consideration as an exit would be to repurpose the property to another use, like taking a duplex or a double in some markets and renovating that into individual condominium units to be sold separately. It's all well and good to sit here and fantasize, but in my experience, that's not going to get you very far. It's time to start networking. Find the people who know the markets you want to be in. Get out and explore those markets. Explore the different strategies that are available to you in each market. Start getting comfortable with the idea of owning investment real estate. How much time do you have? How much risk are you willing to take? Can you see yourself overseeing property renovations? Or would you rather have a turnkey property, one that requires very little of your attention? And also remember that as you network and begin to connect with experienced people in your market of choice, You'll also begin to build your team. We'll talk about your team in the next module.